Hey guys, it's Bob Mangat here with another training session, and today is probably one of the most important sessions that I'm going to do, and hopefully that you get a lot out of it.
Now the future is here and it looks real bright, and it can be yours too if you set your path right. I'm here to stay just like a necklace waiting to be pearled, and I'm throwing up the chorus as I'm singing with the world. Live free, dream big, and see that the world is yours. The world is yours.
You know, every time I start a business or a product or a service or anything like that, this is the exact same process I go through. When I visit clinics across the country, this is the exact same process that I go through. This is how we map out how we're gonna make our money and what our expenses are gonna be going forward. We don't need no big drawn out business plan where some people, projections and all those kinds of things. If we know all of this stuff is very, very simple numbers, we know exactly what we're going to make and how we're going to make it, and consistently kind of go forward from there. The ideal lifestyle is exactly that. It's about what you want as an ideal life, right? How many hours do you want to work? Where do you want to live? The cars you want to drive, the vacations you want to go on, the schools you want your kids to be in. All of those things is what we want to do to create it. But in order for us to get there, we actually have to know what our actual expenses are, right? And so as we start to go through this, I'm going to walk through an example of this. You really start to have to think about, you know, what is it that you want your ideal lifestyle to be? So all of those things that you were, like if you had all the money that you had, or enough to be able to get you into that school or to get you into that neighborhood that you wanted to buy or get that, you know, ocean view home, all of those things that you want your ideal lifestyle to be like, you put that in your ideal section. In the actual section, we're gonna list exactly what is going on with your life currently. So we need a starting point, and then we need to figure out what our end goal or our end game is gonna be. So, you know, in here I've got our expenses. So you basically just grab a piece of paper, start to chart some things down. We want to list all of our expenses. So what is our rent? Remember, actual, right? Right now we're looking at actual. What is our current rent of our office? And then what is our current rent of our mortgage? So you can do one for each. You can do one for your business, if you have a business that's running currently, or if you want, you can just do one for your home, and then projections for what an actual business startup plan would be like. Okay, so, you know, we've got the rent, our mortgage, we want to know what that is, right? So, you know, I'm just going to throw out some numbers on each of these. So for our rent, mortgage, you know, if you're in Vancouver here, you know, you can't even buy dirt for $1 million, right? And so a mortgage is easily, you know, $4,000 per month, depending on, you know, obviously what you put down and all that kind of stuff, right? So for cars, you know, what type of car do you want to drive, right? The current cars and vehicles that you're currently driving. That might be a lease, payment, and so we're going to go on a monthly basis. So on this one here, let's say, for example, our actual car payment is $500, okay? And then we go down and we look at their business and miscellaneous expenses. And business and miscellaneous expenses could be all of those things like insurance, internet, phone, you know, your electrical, your water bills, all of those kinds of things. And so I'm going to guesstimate and put a rough estimate of, let's say, $1,500, okay? And then I'm going to look at what my home miscellaneous stuff is. You know, I've got internet, I've got you know, electrical, phone bills, taxes, all of those kinds of things. And then if you have some staff at home that that might be in your ideal section where you want somebody to come in and you know, clean your house on a weekly basis or anything like that. That may be in your ideal section here. And so, you know, our home miscellaneous is probably, you know, let's say, for example, $1,000. I'm going to keep these as round numbers just to make it easier for us to calculate later on. And you'll kind of see where I'm going with this. Fun, you know, this is on a per month basis, right? And so fun, you know, let's say, for example, you know, $500 per month. That's going out, you know, golfing, do whatever we need to do. Food, you know, we got some hungry kids at home, you know, $1,000 per month. And then school, vacations, and advertising. So school, you know, we probably, you know, put away $1,000 per month, $500 per kid. Vacations, we like to go on a lot of vacations, some really good ones, and maybe we put a couple $1,000s away per month. My writing's not too great there. And then advertising as well, right? So you got to advertise your business to get, to get some patients, right? To get some people through the door. So advertising can be a big expense. In our business, probably around, I don't know, maybe $20,000 or $30,000 or something like that per month. But, on average, let's say it's $5,000, right? Okay. So now we've got a kind of a baseline of what our expenses are. Now you can break, you can sort of go into more in depth on each of these expenses. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to sort of really build a business plan just off of this, right? So if you know where you're starting, if you don't know where you're going, then how are you going to get there? If you don't know where you're starting from, how are you going to get to where you want to be? Right? So you have to figure out where you are today, and you have to be honest with yourself, right? You have to say, listen, my life is taking a turn for the worse, and I have to figure this out, and I have to get out of debt, or I have to do all these things, right? Or, you know what, my life is pretty good right now, but I wish I could have X, Y, Z. And so you have to be honest with yourself, whatever position you are in. It doesn't matter where you are in life or what you're doing, but be honest with yourself and figure out what your numbers are going to be. Because once you figure that out and you actually come to a realization that this is where your life is financially, then you can move forward. Otherwise, you can't. Don't make up numbers. It's just you. You're not going to show it to me. It's not a test. It's not anything like that. This is for your own good. So log all these numbers. Be as specific as you can be. Once you have that, you will have a very, very good idea as to where your starting point is. Now, what do you need to make? Right? How many clients, how many patients, how many people do you need to get inside your office to cover your actual, but more importantly, your ideal? All right? So if I'm looking at rent and mortgage let's look at the ideal side of things now. So if I'm looking at my ideal place where I want to live, I want to live, probably, let's say $10,000 a month, ocean view, property on a cliff, that kind of thing. I want to drive some really nice cars. So let's say, for example, I want to drive a Ferrari or Lambo or whatever it is. Maybe a couple $1,000s. Remember, this is ideal. This is your opportunity to create your ideal lifestyle. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there, right? So and some of you guys may be less, some of you guys may be more. It's okay. It's your ideal lifestyle. It's not mine. It's not mine. It's yours. And so, business miscellaneous, maybe as you start to increase, we want to increase a little bit of a staffing, or we want to get some better equipment, or all that kind of stuff. So normally what I'll do is I'll times this by 3 or 4 just for this example. And so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put $4,500. And then I'm going to do $2,000 for each of that. And then for fun, food, school, vacations, and advertising, I'll just 1,000. School, if we want to get them in the best schools, we're probably going to have to go up to, $5,000 or $6,000 a month. And then vacations, we like to go on vacations. I want to vacation more. And so I'm probably looking at about $10,000 per month. And then we'll go into our actual or our ideal, which is about $25,000 a month on advertising. So, you got your food at $2,000, school at $5,000, vacations at $10,000, and then advertising at $25,000. Remember, this is your ideal lifestyle. But here's the thing, we still have to pay ourselves. This is all of our expenses that we're going out. These are the things that we want to do and drive and all that kind of great stuff. And so what we want to do is we want to have a section for our salary, right? But once you have all this stuff paid, you really don't need a whole lot. And so, our salary, let's say, for example, it's $20,000 per month, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is our actual basically calculates out to $16,500. Okay, so that's our actual, where we're at today. And here, we're probably looking at anywhere from, 61,500, okay? So 61,500, and now we're gonna look at what our ideal is. So I have 61,500 plus our 20,000, which is 81,500. 100, okay? This is what the number that we need to make. But here's the thing. The tax man needs his money too, right? So you have to factor that in as well. So let's say, for example, we have 50% that is gonna go to the tax guy, just in case, right? That's 40,250. So now we're at about 120K, 500. That's quite a big ideal lifestyle, man. You gotta be living pretty lavishly if that's what you need to go. But in the next video, I'm gonna talk about how to put this all together and so that you can use your actual, create your ideal, and actually work less hours to make that amount of money. All right, so I'm gonna put this all together for you guys. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching. If you like the content, click the subscribe button and check out these other videos.